Hello everyone, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Um, we'll start in 2 minutes, okay? Yeah, I'm sharing my screen. Yeah, let me know guys once you can see.
Visible, sir. Good morning,
Yeah,
sir.
good morning. Yeah, yeah. So yesterday we were talking about Spring Core module, right? So out of all these modules, first we thought to start the core module first, because without this core module, you can't imagine other modules, okay? Core module is the base module which allows you to understand all these modules, okay? So we have to go through core module first, so you can easily understand all other modules, okay? So as we started core module yesterday, we talked about simple POSO class. We talked about simple POSO class. So if you have a POSO class with the properties, to access the properties, if they are private variables, okay? If you have a POSO class, example bank class with the two variables, account number and balance, to access these private variables from other class, what we do, we create this bank class object first, then we can call getter method or setter method. Getter method to read the data, setter to set the data. Okay, so this is what we need to understand first, how to write POSO class. Okay, how to write POSO class is the first step that you need to learn. Anyway, everybody must aware of POSO classes. Spring Core module. POSO. You may call it plain old Java object. A simple Java class. A simple bean class. Other words, simple Java bean. A simple Java bean class which have private variables and a public setter and the getters. So how to write this POSO classes in Eclipse? Easy, right? Take any Eclipse IDE. Let me create new workspace. So we can use simple poso class with setters or getters, and using lombok also we can write. I'll show you both. Yeah. So you can create file new simple Java project. Okay. Poso. So here I'm creating a poso class. Just create a package. New package beans. Again, right click, new class. Okay. So I'm writing a simple poso class here. Student. Let me increase the font size. Okay. Mm, yeah. Private string student name, one variable, student email, and student address. So I have three private variables. And to give access of these variables, okay, so if I create one more class, a main method class, here, as this class is public class, I can create object for this class here. Student equal to new student. If I want to access this variable, student name or email or address, if I want to access them here, I can't get it. If you see here the methods, right, available methods, it is showing all object class methods. As you know, object class is parent for student class. All the inherited object class methods I can see in student class. But what about these methods? As you have no access, these variables you are not able to see. If you can provide for each variable, right? If you can provide a setter method, it will provide access to you to set a different name here. Okay, you can give input and set the value. Set name, set email, set address. So you can generate the setter methods just by clicking control space. If you type set, it will show auto suggested setter methods. Okay, so here it is suggesting set name, set email, set address. So you can choose each and just click enter. Again, set email, control space, set address. You can write 3 setter methods. Okay. So these 3 setter methods will help you to pass the data into the student. So now check here. It is showing extra 3 methods here. Set student name, set email, set address. Okay, using the setter methods, you can set the data here. You can set data here. Abhishek. Student dot set student email. So I can call these 3 setter methods and I can set the data. Set address. Cool. Now I can able to set these parameters here. What about if you want to read or if you want to print them? If you want to print them, you can have one method here. Just override toString method. ToString method with the 3 fields, name, email, address field. I'm generating it. Just a right click and override the toString method. Okay, once again, just right click, source, generate toString here. Go to this option and this option. Just click on generate. It will generate one toString method. So what you can do, you may print this student object. When you call system.out.println, it calls student.toString method. So when it calls student.toString method, from toString method, what we are returning is string returning with student name, email, address, right? We are returning them here. We are constructing one string by concatenating your values. So now when I run this, I can able to see what all parameters I set, right? I can able to see them here. In the returned string, I can see student name, student email, and address. So via setter methods, you can access the variables. When you don't have access to variables directly, you can create public setter methods. Setter methods will allow you to pass the data. In case if you want to read each one by one variable, you can have getter methods also here. Control space, type get. It will suggest 3 getter methods: get name, get email, get address. Now you have 3 setters and 3 getters. Each variable, if you want to access here, you can call getter method system.out.println student dot get name, student dot get email, student email, student dot get address. Now you can run. So whatever 3 variables I have given, I can able to see them here. So this is how you can write simple POSO class and you can play with it. Okay. Simple, right? Writing a POSO class with private variables and public getters and setters. You can comment out all these methods. You need not to write if you use Lombok API. If you use Lombok, you need not to use them. Okay, so Lombok by default not available with Eclipse. You need to download it. If you want to use Lombok, right? First, what you need to do, just to download Lombok jar file. Here you go and download it. 1.18.30. Download the latest Lombok jar. As soon as you click on this Lombok, it downloads a jar. So just right click on, or just do double click. This is a executable jar file. As soon as you double click it, it show you this window. So it is looking for IDs. It is doing searching for IDs, which all IDs you have. So scanning will take some time and it will populate your IDs here. Let's see. Wait for a minute. So you can see here it is showing Eclipse and STS. So it is automatically populating your IDs. So for which all IDs you want to install, Eclipse and STS, just click on install. Quick install. So it installs Lombok on both the IDs, Eclipse and STS. If you have multiple IDs, it will show all that IDs list. So then you can install it. Yeah, Lombok will provide you setters and getters and constructors without writing code here. Via annotations. You can imagine annotations will provide setters and getters. So in the same class, I'll be doing commenting here first or all this until toString method, everything is commented out. If I comment them out, you will be seeing error messages here. Yeah. So once you comment it, to provide setters, you can use lombok @ setter set and getter methods here. So before that, just add dependencies. Workspace has encountering problem. So you can add Lombok dependency here. Go to build path, add external jars. @ data. Okay. @setter. @setter method will provide you by default. I think I need to restart this workspace. Let me restart it. Lombok was there already. Still I reinstalled it, right? Okay. I think it's looking good now. Yeah. Now you can see it is saying getter methods are not available. Method get is undefined. Get name, get email, get address. What about setters? Setters also commented it out. But as I'm using Lombok @setter, it provides these 3 setter methods. You can imagine, though you don't write them here, Lombok will provide setter methods for you. For all your private variables, it provides a setter methods who Lombok will provide. And what about getter methods? You can have @getter also here. You can have @setter, @getter. So now you can see no errors. You can able to add access setter method. You can able to access getter method. And if you want toString method, you can have @toString also here. So Lombok will provide all the methods. If you want getters, if you want setters, if you want hash code, equals, via these annotations, you can get them. In case if you don't want write setter, getter, you can use @data annotation also. This data annotation is alternate for setter, getter, and toString methods. It provides by default setter and getter and toString also. Okay, data annotation will provide that. Or else you can have setter and getter. Usually, right, in real time we use @data annotation. By default, it will provide setter and getters. You can see. And toString method also. Usually it will provide all the default setters and getters and toString method. So you may run and see one single annotation must be enough. See, I can access via my getter methods. I can access via toString method, which is automatically implemented via Lombok. Lombok is providing implementations here. You can imagine, though you don't have these methods, you can imagine that methods are there. And if in case if you need parameterized constructor also, you can have all argument constructor. It can provide you parameterized constructor also. So when you provide parameterized constructor, default constructor will not available, right? That's why it is saying no default constructor. So you can have all argument constructor no argument constructor. So it provides both all argument constructor and no argument constructor also. In case if you want to create one more bean with the arguments, you can put them here. Student2 with the parameterized constructor. Student2 with parameterized constructor. So one being created and value setting up with the setter method. And one more being created with the parameterized constructor. Via constructor, I can pass values. Via setter methods also, I can pass the values into my bean. You can see both beans are created. So finally, what we learned here is how to create a simple POSO class and how to access it with the simple setters and getters or by using Lombok annotations. Using Lombok API, we can generate automatically setters, constructors, right? ToString methods without this effort. See, if you see your code, very clean, right? So no much statements here, setters and getters. Lombok is providing all the setters and getters for us for this simple student POSO class. So I can able to call setters to set the data. I can use getters to get the data. Same way constructor also to set the data. And you can use getters to read the data. If you want to read data right here also, student to data via getters, you can read it. So setters and constructors are for finally, right? Setters and parameterized constructors are for setting data into POSO class. You can pass data into your POSO class. Getters are for reading data from your POSO class. Okay, so we can have the setters and getters. We can provide setters and getters and parameterized constructors and toString methods, hash code equals via Lombok. Via Lombok annotations also we can provide them. By using simple @data will be provided setter, getter, and a toString, and this will provide default constructor, and this will provide parameterized constructor. You need not to write much code here. Okay, so this is how you can create POSO classes and you can access them either by writing setters, getters, or using Lombok. Why I am talking about POSOs here before going to start with the core module, why I'm talking about POSOs here means during implementation of your MVC application, right? The first step what we learned is everybody should know the MVC architecture. Application development will go on any application, right? Either it's a web application or a microservices application, anything. Into any domain, any technology will follow MVC architecture. As per MVC architecture, as a backend developer, we all are first backend developers, then full stack developers. So as a backend developer, how we will implement backend? We implement for every form, right? For every use case, you can say for every form, for every front-end form, we write one controller. If you have a registration form here, for that registration form backend side, to read data which is coming from front end, we write one controller class. Controller will read the data and it sends the data to business class. There we can handle all the business operations, right? Here we have pure business logic. Then we send data to DAO for doing CRUD operations, either save, update, or delete. All database operations, DB CRUD operations we handle here. Okay, so mostly, right, for every form we write 3 classes: controller, business, DAO. Controller, business, DAO. Always we write 3 classes for each form backend side. Controller, business, DAO. Controller, business, DAO. 3 classes we write. And we use different modules. From Spring, there are many modules available to provide you, extra features. Make your application simple, easy during your coding, right? All other extra modules we have, we will learn them how to use. But now if you see here, you need to write controller, POSO class, business, POSO class, DAO, POSO class. Every class is a simple POSO class. During writing your controller or business or DAOs, they are not a complicated classes. They all are simple POSO classes only. Simple POSO classes are sufficient for controllers, business, and DAO coding also. Okay. On top of this POSO class, we add some extra features. We add some extra features to enable to read the data, to enable to apply transaction, to enable to do CRUD operations. Some extra features we add on top of POSO class. So first thing, if you understand what is POSO, on top of this POSO, we can apply controller features, we can apply transactions features, AOP features, we can apply Jdbc ORM features on top of your POSO classes. Simple. Implementing Spring application is simple. You can have every class as a simple plain Java class. How to write it? Easy. Create a class with all your required variables and provide setters and getters, including your what about extra methods? This is a plain pure POSO class, student. If you want to make it a controller, some controller methods we add extra. Controller methods. Then it will become a controller class. A POSO class with controller methods, you can call it as a controller. A POSO class with business methods. If your POSO class contains business methods, it will become a business class. A POSO class with database CRUD operations. If a POSO class contains database CRUD operations, you can call it as DAO. It will become DAO, data access object. It will become DAO. If you have CRUD operation methods here, save, update, delete, right? So any class, right? Any class which we write, controller or business or DAO for application purpose, we create it like a simple POSO with the extra methods. So that's where we started learning POSO first. In this POSO, we add controller methods. It will become controller. If I add business method, it will become business class. If I add CRUD operation methods, it will become DAO class. Okay. Yeah. Now I will go one more step ahead. Okay. One more step ahead. In case if your application is having multiple classes, I learned how to create POSO class. You can use simple IDE to generate setter and getters or Lombok. Till here it is fine. Now, POSO's connectivity. If you want to connect to multiple POSOs, or else one POSO if it wants to call another POSO class. As I was saying here, Your controller can be a POSO, DAO can be a POSO, right? Everything can be a POSO class. Controllers can be POSOs, business can be POSOs, and your DAOs also. Now, if I have multiple classes for a use case, imagine same data, student name, email address are or some data coming from front end. This data coming from front end. Now imagine if you want to write a controller here and a business here and a DO here. So 3 POSO classes I need to write. One POSO to read this data. So one controller POSO. Business. DAO. So this data is coming to controller. Now from here, controller wants to make a call. Let's say as I don't have form, I want to set this data via main method only. Via main method only. I will just imagine my main method like a front end. From there, I will send the data. To send the data from main method to this controller, let's say this controller class name is A, and if this business class name is B, and this DO class name is C. This main method, if it wants to call A class, how I can call any class methods if I have a controller method here, something I have controller method to read the data. I have read method to read the data. How I can call this read method from my main method? To call any methods, I need a just a minute, guys. Yeah. So if you imagine this is the form, you are calling it from main method, okay? If I want to call A class method, what I should do? I need to create object for A class so that I can call A dot read method. So my data can be given input, name, email, address, and I can transfer from main method to A class. So this data will now present in this A class methods. From here, if you want to send the same to B class business method, I have some logic method here, business logic method here. From here, I want to send the data to this business class from A class. So what you do in A class, again, you should create B class object. This is how we connect two classes in Java, right? One class, if it wants to call another class methods, we do create object for that class and we call method p dot that particular logic method And there also you give this input. You give this inputs to that business logic method. So now this data will be transferred here from your read method to this logic method. From here, I want to send it to DAO class. Here I have some CRUD operation, database CRUD operation save method. I want to send the data to save method from B class. So in B class, you should create C class object and you should be calling C dot save by giving the same inputs. So this is how we can interlink POJOs, right? If you have 3 POJOs, how you can call them? If main method wants to call A class methods, just by creating object for that A class. If you create here, if you see here, I am creating object for A class so that I can call A class method. So you can connect from here to here now. Now from this A class, I want to connect with B class. So A class needs to create object for B class and it can able to call B class method. Now B wants to call C class CRUD operation save method. So inside B class, we will create C class object and we can call C class methods. This is how we can establish communication between 2 Java classes. Now this main can call A can call B can call C. And from C, you can have connectivity with your database. You can have connectivity with your database and you can send the data to final destination database. So here maybe your C class needs a connection object. Again, via connection object only, right? Inside C class, we create a connection object. We can't create connection con equal to new connection, right? We create connection object using driver manager dot get connection method, which will provide you connection. Then you can handle database operation. So C class also will communicate with the database by creating database connection object only. So this is how each layer we connect. In Java, without object, we can't achieve anything. For controller purpose or business purpose or DAO purpose, I can write simple POJO class with my required variables and setters and getters or constructors. Thereafter, if you want to connect multiple POJOs, one POJO to another POJO or one class to another class, the way that we can access is via only object. Without object, we can't access. If you see here, student class, if you consider this is like a controller, how I am calling the student class methods? First, I am creating object. Without object, I can't deal with it. Okay. Now let's write 3 classes and see how we can connect each other. Simple Java code only, right? Connecting POJOs. Let me write class A, class B, and class C. I have A class, B class, C class. Okay, A is like controller. Imagine controller. So here I have a read method, public void read or create method. I will take 2 inputs here, string name, string email. Now from here, I will put one log here, okay, to understand my request came so far here, logger logger factory or log no default logging available. Okay, or else let me put a simple SOP. We play with logs later. System.out.println create method. So from here I want to call B class method. From A I want to call B class method. Public void. So the business logic method I have here. String name, string email. So B class business logic method. From here I want to call C class CRUD operation method. Public void save. So here you may have database logics. So I have A class and B class, C class. From A class, if you want to call B class, or if you want to call A class from somewhere else, I'll be writing a main class. From main class main method, I want to call A class create method. How I can call A class create method? By creating A class object. A equal to new A, so that it will create object for this class and it will make available this method for you. A dot, you can call create method and give your inputs here. Now my data will go from line number 7 to here, the other class, A class create method. Now my request will come here from main class. From main class, it will go to A class create method. From here, if you want to call B class business logic method, same story. Create B class object, B dot, call business logic method. I'm transferring the same fields from here to B class. From business class to, if you want to call C class, again, you need to create C class object and call C class save method. So finally, your data will come to save method. Now, if I run, my data will transfer from here to create method and it will execute this create method, creates B object, and it will call business logic. And it will execute this business logic method, it creates C object, and it will transfer data to C class. Finally, your C class method executes. Here I'll just print name and email. Now call it and see the flow. I'll run it in debug mode, okay? So that you can see the flow. Debug as Java application. See the control flow, how it will execute. You can see this green color, right? Here I have my debug point. So your control is still at line number 6. It is not executed next line. So to go to next line, click on step over. You can see this icon, right? Just click on it. So execution came to next line. Okay, let's execute. So create method is executed. Oh, all methods executed. So I should have stepped into. Okay. So this method is executed. Inside this create method, business class method we called, that one also executed, C class method also executed. Finally, it is printing name and email. Okay, let me put one more debug point here, and one more debug point here, and one more here. Let's run it again. Go next, create method next. It went to create method. Inside create method, this statement should be executing. Create method executed, B class object created. Now the request will go to business class method. Now the request came here. So business class method executed. Now creating C class object. Next, it is going to save method. Next, the request went to C class. Next, C class save method. Code is executing. Name printed, email printed. That's it. My flow is completed. Done. This is how we can connect each poser class. This is how we can connect each poser class. Now the same thing we learn by using Spring Core. In the Spring Core, how we deal it when we have a complete MVC end-to-end application, right? How we can deal them, how to manage each poser class, and how to create objects and how to establish communication. That part we see going forward. Okay, the same stuff we will see it in IOC. Okay, we talk about IOC from tomorrow. Okay, we will jump into Spring IOC concept. There we talk about containers and this dependency injection concepts, many more. Okay, so let me share this WhatsApp link once again with you. Please join this WhatsApp group if you are not joined yet. Debugging, sure, daily we do debugging, so no worries. I'll show you all the real time things which I use. I'll be showing you here, so that helps you a lot. So join this WhatsApp group, please. And today demos are done. From tomorrow you will be getting GoToMeeting link. Before that, please do with your payments. Basic CoreJava is enough. As I said, right? Just come up with CoreJava knowledge. That should be sufficient. Okay. This is the prerequisite. Okay. Anyway, I'm grooming you little bit Jdbc, Hibernate, and advanced concept also. So yeah. So CoreJava must be sufficient. Any questions? Yeah, from tomorrow you'll be getting a GoToMeeting link. Just as soon as you get the GoToMeeting link, right? You need to click on it. Let me show you. You'll be getting this kind of link, okay? When you click on that link, it opens in a new page. And if software not available, it will ask you to download the software. And you will be seeing an option here, join meeting. So you can click on that join meeting.
Can we attend from mobile?
Yes, you can use mobile also if laptop is not available. Yeah. And daily, right, the session will be recorded. So far your sessions are available, okay? So far your sessions are available in YouTube. You may check them here, last 4 session, and today's session also will be updated here. Okay, as soon as regular sessions starts from tomorrow, right? No more videos will be available here. We will be sharing with a different portal that you will get access. Okay, so there you will be seeing all the videos, and book also, one book also will be shared with you, examples. Examples you will be getting from portal and daily regular session examples. And in book also, I'll be sharing one PDF book. In that book also, you have examples. You can download them and you can practice. So full pack, you will be getting. The only efforts you need to put is daily practice. That's it. Okay. Here and there, if you miss 1 or 2 sessions also, no worries. The videos will be available for you. So you can go through videos and you can reach out to me as well. Okay. So, yeah. Any questions? 7 to 8.
Which Java version you use?
Which Java?
Version.
8. Mostly Java 8. On top of Java
Okay.
8 only. Okay. Yeah. So it's not mandatory that you need to have higher Java version knowledge. Basic Java knowledge up to Java 5, Java 6, or Java 7. Yeah, just come up with basic core knowledge, OOPS concepts, what is variable, what is data type, how you can handle exceptions, simple collections. Those are, sufficient. Okay. So learning and using Spring is simple. They simplified, okay, the coding curve or learning curve. So learning things are easy here, but you just need to focus for for each topic, why the topic is for and how it is useful. That conclusion, if you get, it's not a big deal to learn Spring and get the job in Spring Boot microservices area. Okay, anybody can do that. So that's all. Today is the last session, demo session. So if you're using framework, then it is not mandatory to use servlets and JSP. Correct. Nobody using servlets and JSPs. Okay.
So timing will be 7 to 8.
7 to 8. And later I may increase half an hour more. Okay. Maybe after 1 month, as soon as we start with Spring Boot, right? We will continue for 1 hour 15 minutes like that. Okay. 15 minutes or half an hour extra will take. Otherwise, daily 1 hour. Only weekly 5 sessions. Monday to Friday. No weekend sessions. Okay. Weekends we will spend to learn tools and extra concepts. If anything beyond the Spring, right? There we will, connect and learn them. Yeah.
But the duration of this course will be 35 days. I have seen in the website.
That is not true. Actually, we'll be having 50 plus sessions. So almost 2 months. Okay. We have huge content in terms, many topics we have, important concepts only each. So around 50 days, 50 sessions are required. Okay.
Yeah, 50 weekdays.
50 weekdays, correct. That means 2 months. Yeah. Any questions? So once again, right, I'll share this payment details in WhatsApp also. If you guys unable to unable to reach out to them, okay, just you can even ping me also. Okay. Once again, I'm sharing my number. So call me for anything. I'm just pinging to everyone, okay? Yeah. So that's it, guys. We'll meet tomorrow sharp 7 a.m. You will be getting GoToMeeting link. Join with the GoTo, okay? This Zoom link will not available from tomorrow. Okay, na? Yeah. So that's all, guys. Thank you. Good day.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you all. Bye.